I am Sarah, your survey, exploration, and research assistant AI, and I'm here to support you both for today's dive. Early this morning we received an emergency transmission from HQ. A large population of crown-of-thorns starfish was reported in the area. That is what concerns HQ. You've been tasked with investigating the problem. Please scan 10 starfish each so HQ can learn how to resolve the situation. You found one. Nice work. Crown of thorns. By the way, do you remember when we touched on sharing? Your suit contains a function that will automatically connect you to nearby researchers, forming a sharing link. The sharing functionality is what allows you both to share data with each other on this dive. The more sharing links you have, the more rewards you'll receive and the more tags you will get. I recommend forming as many of these connections as you can. Good job. You're nearly done. Researchers are evaluated based on 4 criteria: teamwork, research, salvage, and exploration. It's always a good idea to check your evaluation and see how you might do better next time. You scanned 10 crown-of-thorns starfish. Well done. It's not uncommon for HQ to inform us about a mission while we're in the middle of a dive, like they did today. For example, when HQ detects that there is an unusual creature in your area, a search and scan mission will be initiated. When you receive one of these missions, Be sure to check your map so you can find the life form and collect data on it. These appear to be tiger sharks, an aggressive and highly omnivorous species. Marine animals in this area are quite sedate. There's little risk they will attack you. The light has a calming effect on them. They went away. I'll send HQ the data you gathered so that they can address the situation. Thanks very much for your hard work today. Japanese flying fish. Golden spade. golden spadefish, young. Juvenile and adult fish of this species look totally different. At the juvenile stage, its long fins give it a crescent moon shape. It also has a band pattern on its body that fades as it matures. In adulthood, the long fins shorten, the body turns silver, and this fish's overall shape becomes more spade-like. It is a migratory fish that tends to live in small shoals. Stark's demoiselle. Easily recognized by its beautiful dark blue coloring with a yellow stripe running from the tip of its mouth all the way along its back. Unlike other damselfish, it tends to live in deep water reefs and coral reefs. It is very wary and will conceal itself amid the rocks when it feels threatened. White-spotted wrasse. This small tropical fish alters the pattern on its body as it grows up, the mesh-like look of young fish changing to a pattern of evenly spaced dots. As an adult, it has a splash of yellow at the base of its tail with a border of black. It is found in reefs and feeds on crustaceans and polychaetes. Breast spot cleaner fish. This diminutive species looks like a cleaner wrasse, except for the black spot at the base of its pectoral fins from which it gets its name. At the upper side of its body is a gradient from yellow to red. It makes its home in shallow reefs and can often be seen cleaning other fish. Bicolor parrotfish, red. A bicolor parrotfish of a rare red hue, it seems to have changed colors by ingesting pigments in the region's algae. Vibrant red shade aside, it still bears the unusual expression and small mouth peculiar to this glum-looking species of fish. Red parrotfish. This omnivorous fish is found in coral reefs and reef areas with strong tides. It can be told apart from its parrotfish cousins by the lack of humps or spots on its head. While females are red, males are actually blue-green, leading some to mistakenly identify them as knobsnout parrotfish. Bowers parrotfish. This fish can be identified by the striking pattern of orange spots behind its eyes and the orange lines on its dorsal fin. An herbivore, it nibbles algae off of rock. The chewed rock then becomes white sand, making up part of the beaches near coral reefs. At night, it wraps itself in mucus to sleep. Pacific longnose parrotfish. A fish with a caramel-colored body, a long face, and a protruding mouth. It feeds mainly on algae and can grow to be around 50 centimeters in length. It is found in shallow waters, often around coral reefs, as well as seaweed beds. Juveniles of the species have an orange line running from their mouths to their tails. Surf perch. The surf perch can primarily be found in sandy mudlands and shallow rocky areas, and feeds on crustaceans and algae. It is an almost silvery white color, often with hints of blue or red, and has a lateral line running along its body. It is sometimes mistaken for the species Ditrema teminki pacificum and Ditrema jordani. Black perch. A member of the surf perch family that dwells around kelp forests and in rocky reefs, often grouped up into small shoals of fish. Name aside, this fish is actually dark brown with tinges of yellow or red, and possesses a subtle stripe pattern. A carnivore, it eats crustaceans, mollusks, and any ectoparasites it finds on fish. Oriental butterfly fish. This tropical fish gets its name from the way it swims, like a butterfly fluttering gracefully through a meadow. It has a dark golden color and thick stripes of black and white over its eyes. There are thought to be around 120 varieties of this species across the world. Singular bannerfish. This fish can easily be identified by its alternating white and black pattern and elongated dorsal fin. It also has a small protrusion above its eyes. The length of a young bannerfish's dorsal fin is about the same as the height of its body, distinguishing it from other fish. Marquesas butterfly fish. This species of butterfly fish is characterized by a diagonal pattern that looks a bit like a downhill slope. Its body is white with black spots, and it has a dorsal fin that looks like a bright yellow coif. It lives on coral slopes next to reefs, and in sandy areas below 20 meters. It feeds on polyps. Giant grouper. This stout, big-mouthed fish is the largest of the groupers. A massive carnivore, it weighs up to 400 kilograms and is known to eat some sea turtles. Due to the strong pull of its mouth when it feeds, it is feared in some areas more than sharks. Sadly, overfishing has put this species at risk of extinction. Blackhead sea bream. A slightly larger, black-colored sea bream. While it may be migratory, some members of the species prefer to stick to their territory. This species forms small shoals and generally feeds on fish, crustaceans, and mollusks. But because it is an omnivore, it can also be fed with melon. Sakuridae. A species of sea bream that has a bright red body marked with patches of white. It has long, delicate threads growing from its tail fin and some spines of its dorsal fin. This fish swims in shoals, mainly in deeper areas around reefs, though it can also be found at relatively shallow depths. Harlequin sweetlips. When young, this fish is dark with 7 large white spots. As it grows and the white spots expand, spots the same color as the main body start to appear inside the white ones, and eventually it becomes pale with many dark spots. fire goby. A colorful member of the goby family with a long dorsal fin and a flaming red tail. It stays away from the water's surface, preferring to hover over the seafloor. This species usually lives alone or in pairs and has a lifespan of around 5 years. Despite the sharp look in its eyes, it has a mild personality. Blackfin dartfish. This species of goby, one of over 2,000 that exist, has dark shading on its back half and the edges of its fins. When young, it has a black spot on its tail. It lives on the slopes of rocky reefs, grouped up into pairs or small shoals. It prefers middle depths, away from the seafloor. Japanese jack mackerel. This fish has spiny scales running from the rear half of its body to its tail fin, but their function is unclear. To escape the attention of predators such as tuna, it uses protective coloration. Seen from above, it blends in with the water. Seen from below, it blends in with the water's surface. Big-eye trevally, spotted. Somehow, this species evolved to develop dark white spots that look like polka dots. It has a playful personality and a slow, considered way of swimming around. It is certainly a rare big-eye trevally specimen. Blue mackerel. This fish has a unique wavy pattern on its back and a series of spots on its abdomen. The spots are quite light when the fish is young, and may remain fairly subtle even as it matures. It forms large schools with others of its species, and swims around near the water's surface. Yellow-striped butterfish. A bright yellow stripe runs down the side of this fish's body, and its abdomen is a silvery white. It grows very slowly, taking 7 years to reach 20 centimeters long. Chicken grunt. A medium-sized saltwater fish of an olive-brown color, inhabiting shallow reefs and areas with seaweed. When it is young, it has a white belly and stripes on its back, but as it grows, these fade. It feeds on zooplankton and small crustaceans. Albacore tuna. This relatively small tuna can be recognized by its long pectoral fins. Its schools tend to be found near the surface or at middle depths. Though most humans may know it for its use in food, the species is a critical part of underwater ecosystems. Bullet tuna. This fish, also referred to as the bullet mackerel, is more likely to migrate offshore than the frigate mackerel, a closely related species. Thanks to its sheer abundance in the wild, this fish serves as crucial prey for other creatures in the food web of its ecosystem. Blackfin barracuda. It resembles the great barracuda and the sawtooth but can be distinguished by its wide, black, V-shaped tail. It may gather with other barracuda and swim around in a whirlpool formation, resulting in a barracuda tornado, a coveted sight among divers. Blackfin barracuda. It resembles the great barracuda and the sawtooth, but can be distinguished by its wide, black, V-shaped tail. It may gather with other barracuda and swim around in a whirlpool formation, resulting in a barracuda tornado, a coveted sight among divers. Sawtooth. This barracuda appears in shallow areas spread out over vast swaths of the ocean. It has a pattern of boomerang shapes running across its abdomen. While it looks similar to the great barracuda, the stripes on the body of that species only appear on the upper half of its body and never cross below the lateral line. Reef stonefish. This stonefish can be found even in very shallow water. The tough spines on its dorsal fin are highly toxic, and because it resembles a rock while at rest, extra care must be taken not to step on it, or really even touch it. Great white shark. It feeds on large fish and marine mammals, and its sharp teeth with serrated edges can easily bite through the flesh of its prey. This is a dangerous animal that sometimes attacks humans, but it does not target them specifically. Any attacks are likely to be a case of mistaken identity. Great white shark, leucistic. This variant is pure great white shark, leucistic. This variant is pure white, unlike other great white species which tend to be gray and white. This is called leucism, and is a condition in which body hair, feathers, skin, etc. turn white due to a decrease in pigment. Several specimens of pure white, great white sharks have been discovered in recent years, and it's likely that this species has undergone a similar mutation. Basking shark. This is the second largest shark after the whale shark. A slow plankton eater, it is not aggressive toward humans, though it is known for its large, usually open mouth, which can be alarming. It is a social fish, often forming small groups, but occasionally much larger groups of up to 1,400 individuals. Scalloped hammerhead. Named for its distinctive head, which protrudes to the left and right, it has eyes and nostrils at the very end of each side and is said to have heightened senses of smell and sight. Its unique shape also acts like a rudder, giving it the ability to turn sharply. It dislikes the noise of divers' exhaled bubbles and generally will not approach them, but this does not mean there is no risk of attack, and caution is necessary. Japanese bullhead shark. This shark has a large head and distinctive ridges above its eyes that can look like cat ears or cow horns. It lies still in reef crevices or on the seafloor during the day, then goes out to look for food at night, using its strong teeth to crush and eat mainly mollusks and crustaceans. Tasseled wobbegong. This shark is wide and flat. Its color and pattern blend into the sand or reef where it lives, making it hard to see. Its wide mouth, filled with long, sharp teeth, extends around the front edge of its head. The mouth is surrounded by lengthy, beard-like tassels that imitate seaweed. Giant manta ray. Well known to the general public as well as to divers, this is the world's largest ray. Each manta ray has a unique pattern of black spots on its stomach that helps to tell them apart. These black spots can spread across the entire stomach, making some manta rays appear entirely black. This ray sometimes jumps out of the water. This is thought to be because the ray is startled or trying to remove parasites. Blue-spotted ribbontail ray. This ray is greenish-yellow with large blue spots all over its body. It also has a long tail with stingers on it and two blue lines running from root to tip. Because this species appears in relatively shallow waters, it is commonly sighted by divers. Broad cowtail ray. This ray sports a tail that not only has a venomous stinger in it, but is adorned with a frilly piece of skin. It tends to bury itself in the sandy seafloor with only its eyes sticking out. It swims in shoals and may sometimes appear in freshwater rivers. Six-gill stingray. A ray with a very long snout, it usually appears in the deep sea but is occasionally seen at shallower depths. Whereas most rays have 5 pairs of gill holes, this species has 6. Its body exhibits a gelatinous texture typical of fish living at the deepest depths of the sea. Notably, it also possesses the ampullae of Lorenzini organs, which let it detect prey based only on vibrations in the water. Bottlenose dolphin. This dolphin is kept in aquariums all over the world and is representative of the dolphin family. It can sometimes be found in large pods of up to several hundred. A curious animal that can be found playing in the waves made by ships and whales, it will usually welcome humans approaching it. Pacific white-sided dolphin. This small dolphin species is white, black, and gray in color, and has a dorsal fin that curves out like a sharp sickle. It is active and assertive, known to approach boats and ships. Since it swims in huge schools of 100 or more, it is a popular target for dolphin watching. Orca, white. The orca is known to hunt marine mammals, its staple food, in groups with other orca, and there is a possibility that this indicates social characteristics within the species. This particular orca has had its coloration reversed compared to normal. The parts that are black on others are white on this one, and normally white parts are black. The cause of this mutation is unknown. Lagoon triggerfish. When this fish feels threatened, it has a habit of making a grunting sound. Hence, its Hawaiian name is Humuhumunukunukuapua, which roughly means triggerfish with a snout like a pig. It has an aggressive temperament and will fight ferociously to protect its territory. Lagoon triggerfish. When this fish feels threatened, it has a habit of making a grunting sound. Hence, its Hawaiian name is Humuhumunukunukuapua, which roughly means triggerfish with a snout like a pig. It has an aggressive temperament and will fight ferociously to protect its territory. Threadsail filefish. This species lives in shallow, sandy habitats and feeds on crustaceans and mollusks. The male has a thin, thread-like second tendon on its dorsal fin, so it is easy to distinguish it from the female. Because of the species' sharp teeth, anglers trying to catch it often end up with cut lines. Black-spotted puffer. This round fish's face looks a bit like a dog's from the front. It can be gray or black-spotted puffer. This round fish's face looks a bit like a dog's from the front. It can be gray or yellow but is always covered in black spots. When startled, it draws water into its stomach, inflating itself and making the countless tiny spines on its body stand up. Although it usually swims at a leisurely pace, it is capable of short bursts of speed when it feels threatened. Long-spine porcupine fish. A spiny fish living in coral and rocky reefs. Like a pufferfish, it can swell up its body, giving it the appearance of a chestnut burr. It has about 300 to 400 spines in total. In adulthood, it is often solitary and carnivorous, preying on crustaceans, mollusks, and benthic organisms. Japanese flying fish. Easily recognized by the long, wing-like pectoral fins that it uses to escape large predators, this fish makes its getaway above the waves instead of underwater. It bursts out of the sea and spreads its wings, gliding over the surface of the water as if flying. Razorfish. This species is noted for swimming in a vertical pose with its head downward. It looks more like a floating object than a fish, and is often mistaken for seaweed. When it senses danger, it can flip horizontal and escape at considerable speed. Flathead gray mullet. This fish lives all across the world. It has blue-green lines and is omnivorous, feeding on algae, crustaceans, and organic detritus that sinks into the water. It is highly adaptable and can survive even in polluted waters. Ribbon eel. This member of the moray eel family has characteristic protrusions from its nostrils. Ribbon eels start out as males. The young males are black but become bright blue with a striking yellow dorsal fin as they mature. The yellow ribbon eels are fully mature females. Ribbon eel, yellow. When this unusual example of the species is young, it resembles a typical ribbon eel. However, as it matures, its coloration suddenly changes. The parts typically blue are yellow, and vice versa. Like the original species, it rarely closes its mouth, giving it the same somewhat adorable appearance. Japanese eel. This fish lives in shallow freshwater but migrates to the deep ocean to spawn. Consequently, it can live in fresh, brackish, or sea water. Humans should take care to wash their hands thoroughly after touching the slimy mucus on the animal's skin. Leatherback turtle. The largest turtle in the world, it has large fins and a dark, leathery back with several ridges instead of a hard shell. The total population is small, and it is considered an endangered species. Its diet usually consists of jellyfish and salpas, and it is capable of maintaining its body temperature in cold waters, as well as diving as deep as 1,200 meters below the surface. Giant squid. This huge squid has 8 long arms and another 2 incredibly long tentacles, each over 10 meters in length, hanging from its enormous body. It prefers to live in the deeper waters of the ocean, though sightings in shallower waters, and instances of a specimen being caught in a net or drifting ashore have been more common in recent years. It primarily hunts neon flying squid or fish, and it possesses an ink sac, though it is up for debate how effective spraying ink is in the pitch-black depths of the sea. Ornate rock lobster. This hard-shelled animal is the largest in its family. It has 10 legs and 2 pairs of antennae, one long and thin, stretching out in front to sense flavor and odor, and the other heavier and stretched out over its shell that it uses to explore its immediate environs. Its shell is blue-green with a pale yellow pattern on the back. Japanese spiny lobster. This large lobster inhabits shallow reefs. During the day, it hides in the darker areas of the reef, retreating to the depths when it senses danger. It is mostly carnivorous, but eats a wide variety of food, including seaweed. Newborns are only about 1.5 millimeters long and look like white spiders. Blunt slipper lobster. This reddish-brown shrimp lives in coral reefs and has a thick, plump shape. It feeds at night, eating shellfish, crustaceans, and other small animals. It has been observed using 2 different strategies for opening shellfish: simply wedging them open, or, when that isn't possible, finding the edge of the shell and waiting for the shellfish to unseal itself, then darting a limb inside. Japanese fan lobster. This lobster has a flat body like a fan. When it feels threatened, it flees backward. Its larvae are sometimes called jellyfish riders for their habit of floating along with the jellyfish they also prey upon. Its shell is softer than that of a Japanese spiny lobster. American lobster. This massive lobster can grow to over 1 meter in length. It prefers cold waters and lives hidden under rocks. The color varies with the individual's feeding habits. It molts its shell periodically, renewing some internal organs at the same time. It ages slowly due to certain enzymes in its body and lives quite a long time. Kuruma shrimp. This shrimp is characterized by its gray or light brown body color and its dark brown stripes. It is commercially important in some regions, but as a result of trade it has become an invasive species in parts of the Mediterranean, harming local species by competing for the same food sources. Chum salmon. This fish lives all over the world, commonly found in many rivers and oceans. It will migrate in schools and reach maturity over the course of 3 to 5 years. When its breeding season arrives, it will return to the river where it was born. During breeding season, the upper jaw of the male extends over the lower jaw, giving it a crooked snout. Sockeye salmon. This red-bodied fish spends a few years living in freshwater before migrating to the open ocean, where it subsists on a diet of zooplankton and small fish. A sockeye salmon and a kokanee salmon are closely related, but while a sockeye salmon will spend most of its life in salt water, a kokanee salmon prefers freshwater. Rainbow trout. The name for this fish comes from the rainbow color of a male's body during its breeding season. It undergoes a process unique to the Salmonidae family called smoltification, which allows it to migrate between rivers and the ocean, and thus move from freshwater to salt water, or the other way around, without running into issues. Just like other salmonids, this fish has pale, oval-shaped patterns called parr marks in the juvenile stage of its life. Eeltail catfish. Eeltail catfish. This member of the catfish family can be found living in saltwater, muddy seafloors, or reefs. It is notable for the venomous spines on the pectoral and dorsal fins, as well as for the way juveniles of the species form very dense schools. This is possible thanks to the strong pheromones the fish produces, which allow the schools to act in a uniform manner. An adult of this species, meanwhile, prefers to stay in the shade of rocks. Gyrocanthus. This fish lived during the Carboniferous period of the Paleozoic era and probably reached up to 90 centimeters long. Like the small Climaceus, it was an acanthodian. It was covered in spines, but the ones on its pectoral fins were about 40 centimeters long, or almost half of its body length. Protosphaerina. This fish would be considered large by modern standards, with a body up to 3 meters in length. However, it lived at the same time as many giant dinosaurs during the late Cretaceous period, so it may not have been classified as large by comparison. It had sharp teeth in a sharp snout, and its pectoral fins were long and jagged like saw blades. More research is needed before any of the various theories about the classification of this fish can be confirmed. Sacabambaspis. This ancient fish lived in the late Ordovician period. It was a jawless species, related to Arundaspis. The top and bottom of its head were covered in hard, bony plates. It had no pectoral or ventral fins and was likely a weak swimmer. It fed on plankton and organic detritus. In recent years, it has Sacabambaspis. This ancient fish lived in the late Ordovician period. It was a jawless species, related to Arundaspis. The top and bottom of its head were covered in hard, bony plates. It had no pectoral or ventral fins and was likely a weak swimmer. It fed on plankton and organic detritus. In recent years, it has garnered a lot of attention online for its cute face. Hemicyclaspis. This small, jawless fish is believed to have lived in the late Silurian period. Its body was only around 15 centimeters in length, with a head covered by a hard, shell-like substance believed to contain its sensory organs. It was a demersal fish that lived in rivers, primarily feeding on plankton or moss in the mud of the riverbed. Yezoteuthis. This giant squid is thought to have lived during the Cretaceous period. Its body was estimated to grow up to 5 meters in length, and it possessed a beak-shaped organ called a cephalopod beak that it used to consume prey. The initial discovery of one such beak in a stratum associated with the Cretaceous period caused a great deal of excitement. Platyhystrix. This amphibian lived during the early Permian period. It possessed conical teeth, suggesting it was a carnivore. Like members of the genus Edaphosaurus, it had a sail-shaped protrusion on its back. Scientists believe that this sail served to help regulate its body temperature, for example by exposing the sail to sunlight and warming its body. It is also theorized that the sail was used in courtship rituals or as a way of threatening other creatures. Colosuchus. This freshwater amphibian, recognizable by its distinctive, spade-shaped head, lived during the Cretaceous period. It was a massive 5 meters in length but only around 30 centimeters tall, giving it a generally flat body. Scientists believe it preyed on fish, crustaceans, and even small dinosaurs, likely using its large mouth to suck them in. Elasmosaurus. This plesiosaur lived during the late Cretaceous period, and it was believed to have been as much as 14 meters long, with a significant portion of that being its long neck. In fact, its neck contained 76 cervical vertebrae. By comparison, a giraffe has 7. This creature primarily consumed squid, fish, and ammonites, but gastrolith stones were also found inside the body. It is unclear what function they served, though some suggest they may have helped with buoyancy. Synopterygii.
Hmm?
I am Sarah, your survey, exploration, and research assistant AI, and I'm here to support you both for today's dive. The region we are entering is notable for its extreme cold and its icy conditions. The fish and marine mammals inhabiting the area have adapted to survive the frigid temperatures. It should be a fascinating dive. Are you ready to explore? Daniel, you do not appear to be moving. Why? Your suit is designed to maintain a safe, climate-controlled environment, even in extreme temperatures. Please come along. We collected a larger than usual quantity of light today. This has not thawed since the most recent ice age, over 10,000 years ago. The planet has experienced at least 3 ice ages. By studying this ice formation, we might learn more about life during those periods. Transmission from HQ. The condition of the world coral continues to improve. Increased luminescence in the area seems to have a healing effect on the coral. It would seem that way. Now that our mission is concluded, it's time to return to the ship. Orca. Warning. Comms failure. Contact with HQ is impossible at this time. Yes, a flash of light in the depths. Let's take a look. Lined surgeonfish. This bright yellow fish is covered in pale blue lines. It is fiercely territorial and will attack any fish that enters its domain. An herbivore, it eats algae attached to rocks and corals. Its flashy looks make it appealing to divers, but care should be taken not to touch the sharp spines near its tail. Moorish idol. This black and white fish is easily recognized by its long, extended dorsal fin. Its Latin name, zonclus, means sickle and refers to the distinctive shape of its dorsal fin. It is very popular, but known to have a nervous disposition, which makes it challenging to keep as an aquarium fish. Bridled parrotfish. A member of the parrotfish family found in coral reefs and rocky areas. The male has a stunning blue-green color, and the female an equally striking reddish-brown. Both sexes have colorful tails and the same distinctive scale pattern. The species subsists on algae, and it tends to live alone. Striped sea perch. One of the largest members of the surf perch family, reaching up to 40 centimeters in length. The sides of its body are flat, giving it a similar shape to a sea bream, and its dark scales are lined with beautiful stripes. It's mainly found in areas with lots of kelp, and it is a carnivore, subsisting on shellfish. Longtooth grouper. This huge fish, around 1.2 meters long, is brown with numerous dark bands. It inhabits reefs at depths of up to 200 meters in the open sea. Living on its own, it hides among rocks during the day and emerges when night falls to hunt for its prey. However, it rarely strays far from its territory. Sea goldie, carp pattern. A goldie with a rare pattern that makes it look just like a Japanese carp. Since the patterns of these carp are the result of selective breeding by humans, it is unclear how they might have begun presenting among wild fish. It seems only males exhibit these patterns. Many-bar goatfish. This fish has several bands of black on its body and 2 long whiskers on its chin. Its color can vary significantly depending on the fish. Though this species may have the face of an old man, there are, of course, females as well. Yellowfin goby. A typical goby with a cylindrical body and a pale abdomen. Its ventral fins are attached together, forming a sucker-like shape. It tends to live on the seafloor, eating shellfish, polychaetes, and juvenile fish, but may be found in rivers. Both the male and the female die after spawning. Elegant firefish. This fish's bright coloring, with white in front and purple in back, resembles that of the sky at dawn. It has a long dorsal fin and a pattern on its head that makes it look perpetually angry. It is found deeper in the water than other gobies and usually pairs up into male-female couples. Marine betta. Covered with white dots, this fish looks like a field of shooting stars. The complex pattern makes it difficult to tell where its fins and eyes are. Its dorsal fin has a patch on it that looks like an eye, making it look almost like a turkey moray's head. It hides in cracks in corals and rocks. Golden trevally. Easily recognized by its dazzling gold color, the adult is over 1 meter long, but the juvenile is tiny, making it easy prey for other fish. A young fish may protect itself by staying near larger creatures, such as sharks, that will likely find it too small to eat. But it's still not totally safe, as these larger fish may eat it after all. Pilot fish. This species gets its name from the way that it swims in front of other fish, such as sharks and rays, as if guiding them forward. It is silver with a striking pattern of black bars across its body. These bars are a constant throughout its lifespan, making it an easy fish to identify at any age. Large-scale blackfish. A fish that may be dark gray or a vivid blue-green color. It has a thin upper lip and lacks any distinctive patterns on its body. This species lives in shallow waters near reefs, and it is highly omnivorous, feeding on crustaceans as well as algae. Chub mackerel. This fish can be identified by its blue back and rippled pattern. It inhabits temperate and subtropical climates and migrates seasonally in large schools. It preys on small animals like fish and is in turn preyed upon by larger ones. Double-lined mackerel. This large fish is a close biological relative of the Japanese Spanish mackerel. It gets its name from the two lateral lines that run across its body and merge near the tail. Its body is flat and spindly. Pacific bluefin tuna. This fish is brown and black with a white belly, and it has a spindle-shaped body that narrows to a point at the base of the tail fin. Its very large, cone-shaped head is dotted with two small eyes. If it ever stops swimming, it will stop taking in oxygen and suffocate, thus, even at night, it keeps moving. Dogtooth tuna. It is often found inhabiting the coral reefs in shallow shoreline areas. It can be distinguished from other tuna species by its lower first dorsal fin and its wavy lateral line. While smaller members of the species swim in large schools, larger ones are found in pairs or go on their own. Red barracuda. This barracuda has a small head, large eyes, and a wide mouth. It swims in shoals in shallow parts of the open sea, preying on small fish with its sharp, canine-like teeth. Some specimens can grow to be up to 50 centimeters in length. Great barracuda. This fish is the largest of the barracuda family. It is usually found alone, though it may join a school during spawning season. This species is known to be a saguadora carrier, though this is dependent on its habitat. Its temperamental nature leads many divers to consider the species relatively dangerous. Large, sharp teeth and a body that can grow up to 2 meters in length reinforce this impression. Antarctic silverfish. This small fish is an invaluable food source for penguins, seals, and other animals in the Antarctic. It has a silvery white body with a slightly darker color on its back. It's critical to the Antarctic ecosystem, but its population has declined in recent years, possibly as a result of climate change. Bering wolffish. It hides in reef crevices with just its head poking out. It has a long mouth full of large, sharp teeth that it uses to catch crustaceans and shellfish. Its powerful back molars are capable of crushing its prey, including the shell. However, the character of this fish is actually quite timid. Short-tail stingray. This member of the red stingray family can be identified by the white spots between its body and fins. It rarely dives into sandy areas and generally migrates near the seafloor. It is a large animal, but gentle in disposition. It is also an active swimmer and fairly easy to keep, so it is a popular fish in aquariums. Leopard whipray. This species can be recognized by the leopard pattern on its back. Its tail, twice as long as its body, has a venomous stinger at the tip. It is not very active and spends most of its time buried in the sandy seafloor. Blotched fantail ray. This ray has a thicker body than most and a long tail with a venomous stinger. Caution is advised when approaching it. Some members of this species have a scattering of black blotches, while others are almost totally black. Japanese sleeper ray. A round-shaped ray with a power-generating organ near its pectoral fins. It can paralyze prey with a 60-volt jolt of electricity and then wrap around it with its body. Divers should be careful when approaching this species. Commerson's dolphin. One of the smallest cetaceans, reaching only about 150 centimeters in size. Because of its distinct black and white coloring, it is sometimes called the panda dolphin. The sex can be determined by the black spot on its abdomen. The males will be in a teardrop shape, whereas the females is more oblong. Orca. A marine mammal with white patches next to its eyes. It is a social carnivore, hunting in small packs consisting only of direct relatives. At the base of its dorsal fin, there is a gray pattern called a saddle patch. This is unique to each individual and does not change, making it a useful marker to identify an orca. Clown triggerfish. This fish is easily identified by its white polka dot underbelly and orange puckered up mouth. A young fish has polka dots over its entire body and is a popular aquarium fish. However, it needs to be handled with care, as it has a short temper and tendency to bite with its sharp teeth. Orange spotted filefish. A very colorful member of the filefish family that lives in shallow coral reef areas, where it can be seen pecking at coral polyps with its long snout. Its vibrant appearance makes it a popular aquarium fish. The sexes of this fish are visually distinct. The female has a solid black membrane near its pelvic fin, where the male will have small dots or orange patterning. Tiger puffer. A species of pufferfish with a large, round body. Its back is dappled with black spots and white markings, and it has a bright white abdomen. Certain organs in its body contain a poison that is highly lethal to humans. Pacific halibut. This giant fish, one of the largest of its order, can measure over 2.5 meters in length and has an incredibly long life cycle. It is a carnivorous species and usually feeds in the mid-oceanic zone, though it may move to deeper waters in spawning season. A female of the species can grow to as much as 3 times the size of her male counterpart. Pacific needlefish. This long, slender fish tends to swim in schools at high speed near the surface of the ocean. Due to its speed, it is considered by some divers to pose an even greater risk to them than sharks do. This is because this species tends to rush toward light sources. If a diver illuminates an area with a light at night, a school of Pacific needlefish may rocket toward them at speeds of around 60 kilometers per hour. Red cornet fish. This creature is often called names like flute mouth due to its physical resemblance to the wind instrument. The suction power of its slender snout increases when sucking in and eating small creatures. As it grows, its red color gets darker. Japanese anchovy. This fish's upper jaw does not move, only the lower jaw hangs open. Furthermore, the hinge of its jaw is farther back than its eyes, a feature that distinguishes it from related species. Its dorsal area is dark blue, and it swims in large schools in shallow waters. Yellow goosefish. This fish is flat and extremely thin with protuberances on its large head. Its mouth is full of large, sharp teeth that fold inward. The protuberances on its head are actually formed by spines from its dorsal fin. It camouflages itself by hiding under sand and mud, then jumping out and capturing prey that swims by.